Fellas, very exciting. I'm very excited because we've got 3 Rolls-Royces. They're all black badges. The first time ever all 3 have been on the road together. 3 of us, 3 amazing Rolls-Royces, and 3 pretty spectacular locations. And I just want to very quickly introduce very debonair, handsome, experienced racing driver, Ryan Cullen, and of course, Mr. Tiff Needell. So looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to showing you.
Where's the coffee?
Coffee's coming. Don't be grumpy. It's early in the morning.
The
but don't be
sun's only
grumpy.
just come up.
The sun's up, and it's the perfect time to catch some of the sites we're going to today. Beautiful scenery, amazing cars. Should be a lot of fun.
Have you got the heaters on already? Is it going to be preheated?
You know what, Tiff? Actually, the cars are preheated, heated seats on. We put the roof down on the dawn for you, Ryan, because we thought you need waking up a little bit more than us.
It'll help smarten your hair up.
Yeah.
So here we are, we're off to explore deepest, darkest Wales in the Black Badge trilogy, and I've got Tiff Needell and Ryan Cullen behind me in their cars, and Tiff's driven plenty of Rolls-Royces before, but never a Black Badge, and this is the first time Ryan's been behind the wheel of a Rolls-Royce, so I'm going to be very interested to see what he thinks of it.
Well, I'm beginning to warm up a bit now. I've had my coffee, and nothing's better than sitting behind the wheel of a Rolls-Royce. A nice round wheel. I always like round wheels. I hate these ones chopped off at the bottom. Bit strange being left-hand drive for the day, but that's what it is. Spirit of ecstasy guiding me forwards. It's going to be a nice day.
Come have a look at some of the cars. I'll show you some of the differences between the Black Badge and the traditional Silver Badge that you guys are maybe a little bit more familiar with. So clearly you can see the grille, as opposed to being silver, is de-chromed. So it's that's where the black essence comes from. And then there's a lot of changes underneath the car as well. So
Stiffer suspension.
Slightly stiffer suspension, Ryan. You're right there, and it's got a bit more power as well with regards to the torque. But the horsepower stays the same.
But this one has the most power. This one has 620.
Ooh, check out Stat Boy.
Stat Boy. Is that my new nickname?
Did you read something this morning, Sonny? Is that why your hair's a mess? Because you had time to read. You were reading a
I was up all night on my phone looking at stuff about Rolls-Royce.
Oh, I'm very impressed.
We're not going to need these today, but of course,
Rolls-Royces have that. That's not a black badge.
Nice.
Has it got a black badge on the umbrella?
No, it hasn't.
Well, therefore, it's irrelevant to this whole story. Therefore, we can just throw that away because that's not all Rolls-Royces have umbrellas.
Were you good at javelin when you were at school? Look at that. That's a good shot. Should we go to the next location? Because the next location, the roads. Wow.
Do I keep
epic.
the same car?
No, we're going to swap over. Let's go. Let's go.
Right.
Come on, guys. So we left the beautiful Raglan Castle and headed to the Brecon Beacons in search of some fantastic Welsh speed roads.
And finally we reach these glorious roads of Wales. Wonderful hilly area with these fantastic views, but I've got to keep my eyes on the road because it may look lovely out there, but the road's got this mirrored sheen. It's very cold, very slippery.
So in front I've got Tiff, and behind me I can see Ryan in the Wraith, and I wonder what he thinks, because I think Ryan has a new love affair.
Really nice sound. You can really hear all these horses working. This car is 2.3 ton, 2,300 kilos, but it doesn't feel like that. I have to say, I do like this car.
Fabulous braking feel, very tight corner, and I can feel the traction keeping me on the straight and the narrow. It's amazing, these modern day traction control systems. You hardly know they're working. You sort of think you're driving very fast, holding the control yourself, but in fact the car's doing it for you. Right, I'm almost back to where we parked up, so I better put the roof down because they all think I've been driving the roof down. They must be mad. It's cold out there.
It's a bit cold, isn't it?
It's not, it's beautiful in these Welsh hills.
It's absolutely freezing. I'm going to put a big coat on soon, but I want to find out. So we've had more of a chance to drive the cars now. I want some impressions from you guys. What do you think? Tiff?
Even with the hood up, I could feel the sportier exhaust, which only that one has of these three. But that's going to be on all of the cars, I think, when they come out, the Black Badge.
Yeah, so
they'll all have sport as an option, or they all have it?
if you tick the Black Badge option to have one of the Black Badges, every new Black Badge now comes as standard with the sports exhaust. So I think it's a good thing. I think
I can have a bit more noise, to be honest, but it's good. You can that little sense of urgency when you put it in a low gear and kick down and watch the power percentage drop. You're on your way.
yeah, that's it. Did you leave the traction control on?
Yes.
Good. I'm happy about
And
that.
I used it,
for insurance
so,
reasons, Tiff.
yes.
You would
It
It was
understand
a
that.
bit greasy in these hills. It's
Really?
cold and icy. You can feel the wind on the microphone probably. That noise isn't us blowing in the microphones, it's the wind of the hills.
What do you think of the colours? Because most people think Black Badge should be black. What do you think of these?
It's a black badge, it's not a black car.
Exactly. Thank you.
Subtle colour. They're not really, they're colours, but you've got a very subtle array. Can I have a bolder colour? What other colour can I have? Do you know the list of choices?
You know, I'll tell you, there's 44,000 different colour combinations, so I'm very well informed
From Rolls-Royce.
from Rolls-Royce.
I'd like a stronger colour slight with mine, please.
I want this car because it's the most powerful. Yeah, at the end of the day.
Power again. He's always on about. What about? It's the better. I think it's the nicer looking one personally. It's slightly short. I don't know how much shorter. I like the fastback look.
I mean, it's got two-door. It's everything about me.
So when are you going to order one?
When you pay me more.
That is not going to happen. I think this looks
Yeah.
magnificent.
Definitely.
Here's a bit of controversy. Do you think the Black Badge should have paddles?
Yes. Just for a bit of fun and have a bit of feel and pretend to be a race driver.
And pretend to get the back end out, get it in the
Yeah.
right gear.
Pretend to be a racing driver in a Rolls-Royce. It's not for racing around the streets. It's for cruising across continents.
But it,
Consummate ease.
But I think it does surprise a lot of people. It's a big old GT, but it's very, very capable as well.
You don't even know what gear you're in, do you? There's no gear
No,
indicator.
no.
So-
Well, there's actually no rev counter.
Well,
No,
it
it's that.
is. The power reserve is kind of
Power
rev
reserve,
counting
rev counter.
in reverse.
So you can't even red line it. You don't even know what's going on.
Line it.
So you not only want paddles, you want a rev counter as well now.
I want a timer. I want everything.
In the interest of my ears not freezing off and us getting hypothermia, we're going to go and warm up on the heated seats with the heated seats, and we're going to go to the third and final destination. So we're going to swap again. So we all get.
I get the Wraith.
You get the Wraith.
I get the Wraith.
But before you go,
Well, I'm in.
we are going to the edge of Wales now, the southernmost tip of Wales.
Can I get in now?
You can go.
Newport.
I'll tell you. No, it's not. We'll see you there.
Okay.
Ryan, you're in the Ghost.
Ghost.
Have fun.
Okay.
I cannot believe these guys, these wusses, Tiff Needell and Ryan Cullen, have been driving this beautiful Dawn Black Badge and they haven't had the roof down, other than for the camera. So as cold as it is, we're going topless.
And finally, I'm in the Wraith. And I think this really is the one for me. It's the slightly shorter wheelbase. Feels firmer on the suspension, a little less body roll. A bit more feel in the steering.
Kind of feels like the suspension is a bit softer in this car, but I think that's just the weight transfer as you go around the corners. But this is a more comfortable ride.
I can really hear that sports exhaust. It sounds fantastic. Tiff was complaining off camera saying, oh, well, it's not really a sports exhaust, is it? I want it to be really loud. But it's a Rolls-Royce. You don't want it to be really loud. You've got to get that balance just right. And I think the balance is just spot on with this. If I tickle it now, oh, the roads are so greasy.
It's funny, this isn't really a much lighter car, and yet it feels a lot lighter. Oh, I nearly got down to zero with my power reserve and a burst of acceleration. Actually, I want that sportier exhaust now. That is coming on this Wraith, so I'll have that sportier sound when I get my Wraith.
And we pressed on through some very changeable weather and some very greasy roads, but some spectacular views, taking us to our third and final stop.
Fireflies in the sky, and they're coming down.
We're here. We're at the edge of Wales, on the south coast. I feel like Thelma and Louise, actually. We've driven 3 cars to a cliff edge. But we're not going to jump off. In fact, we're going to talk about which car was your favourite from today.
My favourite from today was the Wraith. Yep. Obviously the Wraith is on everyone's list, but you know, each car does a different thing, and all 3 are very fantastic cars, but for me the Wraith has every box tick for me.
It's a real problem, actually, because everyone has its place. Tiff, what about yourself?
Well, everyone does have its place, but I can't do roofs down. It's just me, I'm sorry, I like roofs up, and anyway, I've got a big problem. I need 2 of them.
You're getting greedy now.
Well, no, but I want the Ghost for the family car with the kids. I've got to take the wife down to the south of France. I need the 4 doors. But then when it comes to the twiddly bits, I want his Wraith. He can't have the Wraith, because that is just a shorter wheelbase. It's a bit stiff, less body roll. There's that little bit more punch on the accelerator.
Did you guys notice that with the Wraith?
Immediately, yeah. So it was the third one I drove,
well,
so I'd driven the other 2 first.
200 kilos lighter, and you definitely feel that on the brakes.
And the swooping lines, it looks, you know,
it's a stunning car.
for us youngsters, you know, that's the sort of
I put
car.
the average age up, I'm sorry, fellas. But if you had first dibs, which would you choose?
The Wraith.
Hang on, guys, look at this. Look at the Dawn, it's amazing.
We know.
And you've got the best of all worlds
The
with the Dawn.
hairdresser with the sunglasses. we know. We're deliberately not taking the Dawn.
We're
we
leaving
know
this for you.
that's what you want.
I love the roof down. I love having the roof down. I love the wind in your face and you're around you.
Well, it's a good job because you've got a long way to drive home.
That's true. And speaking of home, we're going to get the sunset and then we're going to get out of here.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So thank you, guys. Absolute pleasure. Ryan, Tiff, as always.
I'm getting in my Wraith.
You 2 fight over that and I'll be in this one.
Right.
I'll let you. All right, Sonny, you can have. All right.
And as the sun went down over the Bristol Channel, we had some time to ponder and to really think about which car was best. And I guess the truth of the matter is, all these cars are absolutely magnificent in their own way. We all fell in love with the Wraith, it was no secret. It's just so bold and powerful and beautiful looking. And being the most powerful of the trilogy, it's probably no surprise that it was such a firm favourite on the day from all of us. But the Ghost, it has so much presence, it has so much poise, and it's got to be the perfect car for being driven to the opera or for driving your family to the football. It's so grand and elegant, but as Rolls you would also be very happy to jump in and just drive across the country in. And plain and simply, the Dawn is the world's best 4-seater open-top car, period. Granted, I would have preferred the south of France over South Wales, but you get the picture. Every single one of these cars is incredibly special in its own way, and you'll be a better man than me if you can, with your hand on your heart, say that one is better than the other. Which one do you choose? Do you go for the power? Do you go for the open-top cruising? Or do you go for the luxury and refinement of the 4-door Ghost? Put me out of my misery and let me know in the comments below which you would choose and why.